If you're going to visit Canada, you're going to have to get used to some funny, strange, and interesting place names, and some which are just plain fun to pronounce. This is the place to learn about food, stereotypes, culture, and all things Canadian. So let's go, eh? Let's start at the west coast in British Columbia and travel east across the provinces, and at the end explore the 3 territories. Spuzzum, it's just fun to say, and it's an adaptation of the Indian name Sposum, meaning little flatlands. 100 Mile House, or as the locals call it, 100 Mile. It's one of a number of mile house towns in British Columbia. In the early 1860s, this was a stopping house on the old Caribou Road during the Caribou Gold Rush. Its name owes to the fact that it was 100 miles from mile 0 at Lillooet. Stoner. Not these stoners, but rather a small community located south of Prince George. It's named after Stone Creek. This town sounds like it should be the French pronunciation for cut thumb, but you would be wrong. Most pronounce it as Pouce. The town was originally named Pouce Prairie after the name of a local native band chief. Let's move over to Alberta, one of the 3 prairie provinces. The funny-sounding name of Hairy Hill got its name from a large amount of bison hair found in the hills in the area when the Canadian Pacific Railway founded the hamlet in the early 20th century. The name Medicine Hat is an English interpretation of the Blackfoot word for the eagle tail feather headdress worn by medicine men. It started as a railway town and is now the 6th largest city in Alberta.
Where will the visiting Trekkies come if they want to find the real deal? Well, I'll tell you where they'll go.
They're going to go to Vulcan, Alberta.
Full ahead, Mr. Sudal. Maximum warp.
This town has built a Star Trek-themed tourist station which provides information, displays Star Trek memorabilia, and provides photo opportunities and allows visitors to participate in the Vulcan Space Adventure virtual reality game. Have you ever heard of Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump? It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. For thousands of years, the bison provided Aboriginal peoples with all of life's requirements. The principal means of killing large numbers of bison was the buffalo jump, where herds were stampeded over cliffs and butchered at the bottom. This is the biggest, oldest, and best preserved buffalo jump in North America. And on to the next prairie province with a fun name, Saskatchewan. There are several theories about how Moose Jaw got its name, but one thing is for sure, it's an original. Moose Jaw is proudly known as Canada's most notorious city and is the 4th largest city in Saskatchewan. Another funny named town is Eyebrow. Legend has it that the area took its name from an eyebrow-shaped hill resting above the lake. We certainly wouldn't want to forget this Saskatchewan village of approximately 55 people. A French name, the village is pronounced more like Forget instead of forget. Since this is the Salty Beaver Explorers channel, our favorite is Big Beaver, Saskatchewan. It's a tiny community of 15 and has a store and a clothing company. Manitoba is the last of the prairie provinces. Josiah Flintabady Flanagan is the inspiration for Flin Flon, Manitoba. He is a character in a paperback novel, The Sunless City, written by J.E. Preston Muddock. Finger and Bacon Ridge are also unusual names in Manitoba. Moving eastward to Ontario, this province also has a number of funny names, but I'm going to narrow it down to my top 4. Wawa. It takes its name from the Ojibwe word for wild goose, and the community is known for its 8.5-meter metal statue of a Canada goose, which was built in 1960. Pancake Bay. I love pancakes, but this gets its name from folk stories that told of voyageurs preparing batches of pancakes from their remaining provisions as they traveled from this area to Sault Ste. Marie. It sounds like they manufacture moose here, but Moose Factory was the second Hudson's Bay Company post to be set up in North America. Factory actually refers to the jurisdiction of the factor, who is a merchant in charge of buying and selling for the Hudson's Bay Company. Swastika is a town named after the Swastika gold mine, which was staked in the autumn of 1907. They've resisted a name change on one simple principle. They thought of their name before Hitler, and they've never had anything to do with Nazis. A name you won't forget is Punky Doodle's Corners. It's a hamlet in southwestern Ontario. No one really knows where the town got its name. And here we go to our French-speaking province of Quebec. Trois pistoles sounds and is written like it should mean three pistols. Pistole is actually an old French coin. The town is said to have been named for a silver goblet worth 3 pistoles that was lost in the river in the 17th century. Saint-Louis de Haha. In September 2017, this municipality established a Guinness World Record for the most exclamation marks in a town name. The town is believed to be derived from the archaic French word ah, which refers to an unexpected obstacle or ending of a path, such as a cul-de-sac. Let's head over to 3 of the 4 maritime provinces, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. We'll begin in New Brunswick. Beersville. Now that sounds like a fun place to hang out. It was named for John A. Beers. I'm guessing that the fishermen were out of luck at Disappointment Lake in Carleton County. Peekaboo Corner, New Brunswick. I wasn't able to find any information about this, but it certainly is a good name. The province of Nova Scotia is next. If you want to be rich, then living in lower economy may not be for you. Mushaboom is a funny name that is likely a shortened form of a Micmac word which means a pile of hair. Micmac legend says that fairies would play ball and run, pulling one another's hair as they did so. They would pull so hard that locks of hair would come away, and then the fairies would scatter the locks on the ground. The unusual name of Meat Cove probably got its name because it was a popular location for hunters to dress their animal carcasses during its early history. Shag Harbor.
We have a lot of jokes about our name. The name Shag came from a bird. That's where the name came from. It wasn't as Austin Powers.
Fascinating, Vanessa. Listen, why don't we go in the back and shag?
It is an unusual name, but it's not as exciting as what the town is actually known for. Shag Harbor is known for its 1967 UFO encounter and crash. Prince Edward Island is Canada's smallest province, and that's where we're headed next. Try not to laugh at the name of this town, but Crapo was named after the spring peeper frog renowned for its loud chirp. Sea Cow Pond. It may come as a bit of a surprise that walruses, for which the town is named, were abundant in Prince Edward Island during the late 19th century. Sea Cow Pond's harbor has the world's longest natural rock reef. Now we're off to our last maritime province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is the king of unusual names. Only Jerry knows where Jerry's nose got its name. It certainly is unusual. Leading tickles is one of a number of tickles in Newfoundland. In Newfoundland English, a tickle means a short, narrow straight. Blow Me Down Provincial Park is aptly named because the strong gusts of winds might actually blow you down. Let me present Dildo.
Last week, I was alerted to the existence of a place, maybe a magical place. It's a small town called Dildo, D-I-L-D-O. It's a real place in Newfoundland, Canada.
People in Dildo say the name traces back to the 1700s.
It's called dildo, a word that has come to mean an artificial penis.
Yes, it has indeed come to mean that.
Come with me as we head north to the territory, and we'll start off in the Yukon. Brooks Brook certainly is a tongue twister. Whitehorse was named after Whitehorse Rapids for their resemblance to the mane of a white horse. It is the capital and only city of Yukon and the largest city in northern Canada. Snafu Lake. The name is from World War II era military slang meaning situation normal, all fouled up. Our next stop is the Northwest Territories. Yellowknife. It's the capital city of the Northwest Territories. It's named after the Yellowknives, a Dene band who lived on the islands of Great Slave Lake's East Arm and traveled as far north as the Arctic to obtain copper for knives and other implements. They in turn acquired their names from the copper-bladed knives they carried. Tuktoyaktuk may not be such a funny name, but I love the sound of it.
The only road in and out of Tuk, as they call this community, is a nearly 200-kilometer frozen journey along the ocean.
Tuktoyaktuk is the anglicized form of the native Inuvialuit place name meaning resembling a caribou. The settlement has been used by the native Inuvialuit for centuries as a place to harvest caribou and beluga whales. Nunavut is Canada's newest territory. It is massive and sparsely populated, forming most of the Canadian Arctic archipelago. Chesterfield Inlet. When I think of Chesterfield, I think of a couch or a sofa, but this community got its name in the mid-1700s from the Earl of Chesterfield after British explorers charted the area. It is a stronghold of Inuit culture and traditions. Iqaluit is another name that I like the sound of. It is the capital of Nunavut, meaning place of many fish. So which place names did you find the funniest or most interesting? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and consider subscribing for more videos about Canada. See you next week.